Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are unlocking the true potential of one of the absolute most popular and honestly most misunderstood supplements out there, resveratrol. We're going to look at the actual research on how to get it into your system so it can finally do its job.
It's a serious question, right? Because there's this massive myth out there that simply swallowing a resveratrol capsule with your morning glass of water guarantees you're going to reap all of its amazing health benefits. You buy the bottle, you take the pill, and you assume your body is putting it to work. But, well, as the clinical data shows us, it is nowhere near that simple.
Look at this. According to the research, without a proper carrier, less than 1%, literally less than 1% of ingested resveratrol actually remains available to your tissues. You might as well just be tossing your money directly into the trash. The molecule itself is fantastic for sure, but getting it into your cells is this monumental biological hurdle. We're talking about a compound that wants to work for you, but is actively being blocked by your own digestive system.
So here's our roadmap for today. 1. The resveratrol paradox. 2. The bioavailability problem. 3. The simple fix using fat. 4. Advanced delivery via cyclodextrins. And finally, 5. The future with SEDS.
All right, Section 1, the resveratrol paradox.
So when I first looked at the historical data, I realized researchers have actually known about this natural polyphenol, which, by the way, is found heavily in red wine, grapes, and peanuts. They've known about it since 1940. And in vitro, meaning, in a petri dish or a test tube, it's an absolute superstar. It shows incredible anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, and cardioprotective properties. But when it actually enters the human body, the story changes entirely. Its in vivo reality is frustratingly low. And the problem really lies in its physical and chemical properties. See, it has incredibly poor water solubility, and it's metabolized extremely rapidly. It's kind of like trying to dissolve a brick in a glass of water while a vacuum just sucks it all away. You just can't get the building blocks where they need to go before they're completely destroyed.
Section 2, the bioavailability problem.
So the crucial point is, bioavailability is everything in the world of supplementation. Just as a quick refresher, absorption does not equal usability. Your gut might successfully absorb the resveratrol molecule, sure, but if your liver immediately destroys it before it ever reaches your bloodstream and peripheral tissues, its bioavailability is practically zero. It's a classic pharmacokinetic trap. You can pump as much of the raw ingredient into your stomach as you want, but if it doesn't survive the transit, it simply cannot have an active effect on your cells.
The chronological journey of standard resveratrol in your body really paints a pretty bleak picture. At minute 0, you ingest it. By minute 8 to 14, it has already hit its initial half-life. And by just 30 minutes, it's rapidly inactivated and metabolized. It's broken down and flushed out before it can ever reach therapeutic levels in your blood. The liver's first-pass metabolism basically acts like an overly aggressive bouncer, just kicking the compound out of the club before it can even get to the party. The efficiency of our own detox pathways leaves us with, well, almost nothing to show for the supplement we just took.
Moving to Section 3, the simple fix, fat. But hey, don't throw away your supplements just yet. We can actually combat this rapid metabolism right at home. It turns out, dietary fat works in 3 amazing ways to protect resveratrol. First, it delays gastric emptying. That keeps the supplement in your stomach longer so it has time to properly dissolve, rather than just rushing through your digestive tract. Second, and this is key, it triggers the formation of micelles. Think of micelles as tiny, microscopic taxicabs made of bile acids that surround the fat-soluble resveratrol and safely transport it past the gut wall. And finally, fat enhances lymphatic transport. This is a massive biological loophole, guys, because it allows the supplement to bypass the liver entirely, completely dodging that destructive first-pass metabolism we just talked about.
So, what should you actually be taking it with? Well, doctors recommend pairing your dose with high-quality dietary fats. Extra virgin olive oil is fantastic. So are nuts and seeds like almonds, walnuts, and chia. Avocados and coconut oil are also highly effective carriers. The real trick here is consistency. If you're taking your capsule with your morning coffee on an empty stomach, you are missing out. To get the maximum benefit, you really need to pair it with a main meal that includes a solid serving of these healthy fats. It literally transforms a highly volatile molecule into a much more stable passenger.
And if you're wondering just how much of a difference this actually makes, the data is striking. A trial published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that resveratrol mixed with olive oil led to a 5-fold increase in blood levels compared to taking it with just water. That is a literal multiplier effect from a simple dietary tweak. By just adding a bit of olive oil or avocado to your routine, you are drastically improving absorption. You're taking that less than 1% usability and pushing it significantly higher just by respecting the basic chemistry of the compound.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 4, Advanced Delivery via Cyclodextrins.
So when I looked into the pharmacological side of this, it got really interesting. Scientists have been hunting for ways to structure the supplement so it survives the digestive tract without you having to manipulate your diet at all. What we're looking at here is a standard resveratrol suspension compared against a complex with a specific molecule called 2-hydroxypropyl beta-cyclodextrin, or HPBCD for short. Now, standard resveratrol has low water solubility and rapidly degrades, right? But cyclodextrins actually have this unique cone-like structure with a hydrophobic cavity inside. They literally swallow the resveratrol molecule, tucking it safely inside this protective cone. This gives it a massive solubility boost and shields it entirely from rapid metabolism.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the preclinical data from the University of Turin. It's staggering. When tested in mice, this complex generated a massive, nearly 4-fold leap in the maximum blood concentration compared to a standard suspension. And even more incredibly, it led to a 5.5-fold increase of resveratrol concentration right in the intestine. This shows that structuring the delivery at a molecular level can completely rewrite how much of the compound your body actually gets to use. When you protect the molecule inside that cyclodextrin cone, you aren't just slightly improving things, you are revolutionizing its pharmacokinetic profile.
And finally, Section 5, the future with SEDS.
SEDS stands for Self-Emulsifying Drug Delivery Systems. Think of it this way. Instead of relying on you to eat the perfect amount of fat to create those microscopic taxicabs we talked about earlier, a SEDS formulation essentially pre-packages the drug with its own perfect fat and transport carriers. It's this highly specialized blend of oil, surfactants, and co-surfactants. And the brilliant part is, they spontaneously form perfect oil-water emulsions the exact second they hit the aqueous fluids in your gut. It literally takes all the guesswork completely out of the equation.
A major study published in Dove Press set out to find the absolute perfect optimized SEDS SDDS formula specifically for resveratrol. After testing various ratios to see what prevented precipitation and maximized stability, they landed on formula F19. It consists of exactly 20% olive oil, roughly 27% of a surfactant called tween 80, and about 53% propylene glycol as a co-surfactant. This precise balance is what matters. This specific blend provided the absolute best stability, emulsifying in seconds so the drug is instantly ready for absorption without crashing out of solution.
And this brilliantly illustrates the resulting power of this F19 formulation. While standard, unprocessed resveratrol struggles heavily in a simulated digestive environment, reaching only about 42% dissolution efficiency over time, formula F19 shoots up to an incredible 94% dissolution efficiency almost immediately. The drug is released much faster and much more thoroughly. There's barely any waiting period. It goes into the digestive fluid and is instantly dispersed and prepped to cross the intestinal barrier.
But what does this mean for the actual biological payoff? Well, the study tested this optimized SEDS formula on diabetic rat models to measure real-world effects. They found that just 10 milligrams per kilogram of the SEDS resveratrol matched and in some key metrics actually exceeded the beneficial blood sugar and lipid-lowering effects of a standard 20 milligram per kilogram dose of regular resveratrol. Because the absorption is so superior, you can literally take half the dose and achieve the exact same or even better health outcomes. That is the true power of delivery systems. It's not just about taking more, it's about absorbing smarter.
Which leaves us with a critical, proactive question for you as a focused learner. What other health potentials are hiding behind poor absorption? We've seen today that bioavailability dictates your health results. Swallowing a pill is only step one. Ensuring it survives to actually reach your cells is where the real magic happens. So whether you start by simply taking your supplement with healthy fats tonight, or you begin looking for advanced formulations like cyclodextrins and liposomal SEDs on the market, it is time to rethink your entire routine. Stop wasting your supplements and start maximizing your health.